get a little reward.
Hi everyone.
Hi everybody. Welcome to Aderans UK Live with myself, Jane Kelly, and Bradley. And we're both here tonight. We're both on the same side.
I know. We haven't done this since Christmas of 2020.
Yeah.
Was it then? Yes, it was then.
It was.
And that was a trade special, I think. I don't think we did a live.
No. Yeah,
it's a very short-lived little moment, wasn't it?
Yeah. On the same side, but we're back on the same side of the screen.
Yeah.
So bear with us in case anything happens, because we might end up just talking to one another and forgetting you're all there.
We'll try not to ignore you and keep you engaged.
We'll still keep looking at you as well. We've kind of changed up a little bit this evening, haven't we?
We have. We've got lots of things to look forward to tonight. Lots of hands-on stuff. And you might be wondering
what all the fruit is.
Yeah, we're great hand models, Jane. That's quite
We've got apples and blueberries and sunflower seeds and some spinach, which is going a little bit beyond itself now, I think. It's wilting ever so slightly under the heat of the lights.
Luckily, it will be fine because it's going in a smoothie. So,
but just to actually let you know what we are doing, in a few moments' time, we're going to be introducing Elizabeth from our Aderans Hair Centre in London. And she's a trichologist who is actually working with us. And Elizabeth is going to come on, and one of the things she's talking about is obviously healthy hair, healthy scalp, and she's got some lovely little recipes that she's going to give us, and we're going to copy one of the recipes at the same time as Elizabeth is doing it. So it's something Bradley would be doing. He'd be hands-on making the actual recipe. So it should be quite fun. Hopefully it will all go according to plan.
We hope so.
And then we can taste it all after. It's like our new little cooking segment. So if there's anything else you'd like us to actually cook when we're actually here on a Wednesday evening, just let us know and we'll see what else we can do for you.
We don't have an oven. We don't have anything like that. In fact, we have no utensils. So cook is a strong word. But as with most things, wellness, health, it all kind of starts from within. There's a lot of different aspects to it, which I don't think is addressed a lot when it comes to people talking about hair loss. It's something you may see every now and again in articles, but it's not something that we ourselves, I don't think we've ever talked about diet on this webinar.
No, not at all. And, if you want healthy hair, you've got to have a healthy scalp. To get a healthy scalp, you've got to be healthy inside, and it's making sure you've got all those right nutrients going inside or eating the right food. But also, as well as eating the right food, it's all about cleansing as well. So it's about cleansing your scalp. So if you've got your own bio hair, then you need to shampoo that regularly, depending on the type of hair that you've actually got, if you've got a greasy scalp or if it's quite dry. But also, it's really important, and I think for those ladies who have tuned in who are actually wearing a wig, maybe you've only got a small amount of hair, or maybe you've lost all your hair and you're alopecia areata or universalis. It's really, really important that you actually keep your scalp really cleansed and in that tip-top condition as well. And we've got a couple of different things that we're going to show you. Elizabeth is going to talk to us about, we said, about nutrition, but also some products that we're actually using within our Aderans Hair Centre now. And we're also giving somebody that opportunity to actually win one of our hair spas as well, which we'll demonstrate on Bradley later this evening. It's an amazing gadget, and I'll talk you through how that works. And there's a big opportunity for somebody to win that. And we'll actually tell you later on in the evening how you're able to actually win the actual hair spa.
Absolutely.
And that's a prize you can win online. And we've also got offers as well at our Aderans Hair Centres, both in London and also here in Hove, with big discount as well for July. And we'll talk to you and mention that a little bit later in this evening as well.
So by the end of this, you'll kind of have an all-rounder. How to battle or, maintain, manage, have a healthier scalp from the inside and from the outside.
Yeah.
So we're doing it all.
And you have some lovely recipes that you can take away. And if you wanted those recipes, if when we're doing it, I'll just remind you what we're actually using, the ingredients, but we can always email you that information anyway.
Yeah. I think the best thing about this as well, Jane,
is being live doing it.
It's going to be fun doing it live, but also it's all stuff that actually isn't. It's not hard to get hold of. It's stuff that I have it in my kitchen. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. I think everyone's diets are different.
Yeah,
but
I would say
accessible. You know,
I have it all in my kitchen, apart from the actual almond milk.
Have you tried this before?
I don't drink milk.
It's not milk. It's from an almond. Almonds don't make milk.
I haven't tried it, no. In answer to that, so I'll be interested to actually try that.
It's going to sound strange, but it has a real nice cardboardy taste to it, which
I'm really looking forward to
enjoy
this,
that. I think you might like it too.
Oh.
So yeah, it'll be good. I mean, it'll be mixed in with all these things, but afterwards we'll get the glasses of almond milk out to finish the night.
Very nice.
Bit of cardboard for you there.
Cardboard. I'm really looking forward to this.
That's it. Well, let's talk about the actual hair centre.
Yes. Aderans Hair Centre opened in our London branch in Westbourne Grove and also here in Hove. We've got the two centres so far that are actually opened. We'll be opening one shortly in Birmingham as well, so we'll be covering a good part of the actual country. But what we wanted to do with Aderans Hair Centre, because as you all know, we're really a wig company. We sell wigs, we help people with their hair loss. But we want to be able to give that client an answer to every hair problem or scalp problem that they might actually have. So coming into the Aderans Hair Centre is like a one-stop shop now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can go in, you can make your appointment to see a trichologist. They'll be able to actually point you in the right directions, what treatment you might need, what products you might need to actually take away and use. Or if you want to go, if you live close, you can go in weekly or twice a month for your different treatments. And it's just an amazing thing that we're offering now, isn't it? We've got lots of great feedback from clients. Clients are actually going in and out of London all the time, getting busier and busier. Our trichologist there, Elizabeth, is actually getting really quite busy on the days that she's in town. And I think it makes all that difference because not everybody requires a wig.
No, absolutely not.
And we're kind of, and I always have been a great believer, and I don't know if you've probably been watching me for a while now, but if somebody's got existing hair, I always believe that maybe you should just enhance what they've got rather than covering it all up completely with a wig. And by having Aderans Hair Centre, it just actually helps, doesn't it?
It does, and I think you've got that support from the very start of your journey, which perhaps you couldn't get. I mean, we always support everybody that comes through our doors as best we can. But I think there are people that are so early on in their hair loss journey that there's still opportunity to not prevent, but maintain what they have for as long as they can before they then need to progress further into
the next stage.
The next stage, which ultimately can be a full head replacement in terms of a wig.
Yeah, it could be a top piece, it could be an enhancer, and then finally going into a wig. But I think it's really nice that you can go in and you can get that right information and not think that the only answer for you is to actually buy a wig. There's other things available. And with hair loss at the moment, the increase in hair loss with people because of female pattern baldness for one, FFA, frontal fibrosis and alopecia with ladies, but also because of COVID, one of the side effects is actual hair loss, and even with having the actual COVID injections. So I know a lot of people have been really suffering with that.
I heard that. It's quite a worrying thought when it's been given out to so many people. Yeah.
You're going to have side effects with all different things, aren't you? But I think the hair loss one is actually, even though it's physically not going to actually give you any illness, it's not going to harm you in any way, I think psychologically, just by losing your hair, it has such an impact on people.
Absolutely.
That psychological impact when we lose hair or it begins to thin, that people will be looking for somewhere to go just to get that advice and to actually get that help.
Yeah, and we talked about it, didn't we, in a previous webinar when we caught up with Mark Blake?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, and it was to do with the body's reaction to recovery.
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yes, because it kind of hits your autoimmune system, and it takes a while to actually get your body back on track. Sometimes because our hair goes through those different stages of growth, Bradley, where it's growing, is resting, and then it actually sheds.
Yeah.
To actually, before it goes to the resting stage, it just hits the resting stage, and you actually shed that hair, and it doesn't know when to actually stop. So it's got to kind of get itself back onto balance again. And sometimes you can give yourself 3 months, 6 months, and you actually get back to how it was. With other people, it will be permanent, and maybe they're not going to actually recover from that hair loss.
Yeah.
But with the Aderans Hair Centre, you'll be able to go in, speak to somebody. They can actually examine your scalp through a little microscope, which is absolutely amazing to have done. I wish I actually had one
to
here.
see as well, isn't it?
Because I do think one day we'll actually get either Elizabeth or Emma down, and we'll actually do that on Bradley. So you can actually, he's the guinea pig, isn't he?
Always.
Always.
As we'll see later.
Yeah. But it's really good because you can see the hair follicle. You can see how clean that hair follicle might be. Or you can see, if you don't cleanse your scalp properly, where you've got your hair follicle, it's like a little bulb that goes into the scalp. It's kind of got like a cement going all the way around it, and that's where all the gunk's sticking in. And obviously, it doesn't actually help with your hair growth. So it's little things like that, but the scope would really be able to tell you what's going on with your scalp and maybe lead you into why you might be getting those hair loss problems.
So this really is the whole trichology. The whole premise of trichology is that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Understanding what you need.
Yes.
What's going on. It's more scientific, medical, isn't it? Really?
It's knowing more about the hair growth.
Yeah.
As to why your hair is suddenly coming out. It's not growing so well. And the different problems. It could be that you just might have different problems with the actual skin on your scalp rather than the actual hair. But if you've actually got skin that is really quite dry and really quite flaky, that's going to lead to hair loss as well. Right. So again, by seeing a trichologist, having the actual scope put on so they can just investigate what's going on with the scalp, they're going to be able to find out an awful lot about you. Beforehand, they're going to be able to actually find out a lot about your diet as well. They're going to ask you a big questionnaire about your diet and lifestyle and what you do. And I think it's one of those questions when I know whenever you go to the doctors, they always say, how many units do you drink a week?
Oh.
And you sit there and you think, do you actually tell them everyone, or do you just bend it a little?
I think most people, if you ask them, would tell you that they didn't tell the truth. I'm just saying. I think most people
I
put money on that.
I think most people would bend it a bit. But I think if you're not giving that person who's talking to you all that information they want, and again with our trichologists, give them all the information you've got, and then they're going to be able to actually give you a proper diagnosis and make it a lot easier for you. It's a pain-free experience, but a lovely experience as well to go into one of our centres. As I said, we've got 2 of them open at the moment. London at Westbourne Grove in Manhove. In Westbourne Grove is lovely area of London to actually go to.
Really nice shops and restaurants
Beautiful
around there
shops
as well.
and restaurants,
if you want to make a day of it.
You could actually make a day just in Westbourne
really
Grove, actually.
There's beautiful furniture shop a few doors down.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to go anywhere else.
No, absolutely.
Very close to the tube as well, and you've got parking as well. It's like on-road parking, pay and display for about 4 hours. Yeah. So the parking's always quite good.
Well, let's just announce our offer, and then we'll bring Elizabeth in to tell us more about specifically what she's doing at the hair centre. So, for the whole of July, basically, you can go and have your trichology appointment, your consultation that you have to have before you can begin your treatment programme, which will be, I'll let Elizabeth tell you, but it's pretty much bespoke per each person that comes in, isn't it? Because everybody needs something different. So usually our appointments for consultations are £85. For the whole of July, they are down to £50. So you make a saving of £35.
It's a good saving.
It's a good saving. Yeah. I think that's a very, very good price for trichology in London, especially. So if it's something that you've perhaps not wanted to splash out on previously because of the cost, I would say it's a great offer. there's no reason that you're not going to not learn anything about your scalp by going.
Yeah, I think to have that one visit, and it'll make up your mind if it's the right thing for you.
Yeah.
And then you might want to follow it up with different treatments that would actually be offered.
Exactly.
So I think at that price, you can't go wrong, really.
Well, no, I think, especially if it's something you've been debating for a while, let's be honest, the price is always going to be something that tips you over.
It's true, though, because we always look at the price of things, Bradley, isn't it? So that is actually what happens. So shall we bring Elizabeth on?
We'll try. I've lost control of the mouse temporarily.
Okay. We're going to hopefully bring Elizabeth on with us once Bradley's...
Yeah, so we'll just keep talking for now, shall we?
Okay, then. Yeah, we're having a few little issues trying to find Elizabeth.
We're back.
Well, we know where Elizabeth is, but...
We've located her. She's waiting. Right. Yeah, we can bring her in now. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Before the mouse dies again.
Yeah, please.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Good evening.
How are you this evening?
I'm very well, thank you. Enjoying the late night sunshine.
Oh, it's beautiful out there, isn't it?
It is.
Absolutely stunning. We're enjoying it in here, aren't we?
Yeah, there's no windows here at all.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Elizabeth.
Yeah, we can't see anything.
No, but it's
just as well.
So different, isn't it, now that the days are longer and everybody can kind of go out and do things again. I think it makes such a difference to our daily lives.
I think it makes a difference to actually how you feel. Again, it's like, it makes a difference to your health as well.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D in the sunshine. And you need that vitamin D for hair growth.
Well, let's let Elizabeth tell us about that.
Yeah, so that does actually help.
Yeah.
So, how are things going in London, Elizabeth, at the hair centre?
Yeah, things are going really well. I'm seeing more and more clients. Good. And I think people are quite fascinated to understand their hair loss more.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you were saying, Jane, I think it's like there's so much you can learn about yourself through going through the trichology process.
Yeah, because I do consultation about lifestyle, stress levels, just covering kind of every base. And there's another sort of medical conditions underlying. So I ask questions.
So what sort of structure does your consultation process have? How does it kind of work? Do you have a questionnaire when people come in, or is it quite an open chat?
A bit of both. There is a bit of both. There is a that I have that's obviously very structured to questions that I need answers to. But within that, we do have a good natter.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So people can kind of come in and learn through. I presume your questions very much steer in a direction of you understanding everything you need to know about their lifestyle in order for you to then work out where to move forward with understanding what treatment direction you should perhaps go in.
Absolutely, because every individual is different. So every treatment is tailor-made to that individual and their.
Oh, sorry, Elizabeth. We're having a lot of messages come through saying that the sound is not very good from you. So it's gone very echoey.
No, it's very echoey my end.
Is your echo, struggling?
Oh, dear. Is there any way you could move along a little bit or something? Perhaps it's the signal.
There's nowhere to go, really. I think the best part.
Nowhere to go.
Oh, bless you. We'll try and get on as best we can.
Yeah. Because I think when people come to you, and you've got somebody who might have like a very oily scalp or a really dry scalp as well, and do you often treat people who are going through chemotherapy or finish their chemotherapy? Because I know a lot of ladies, once they've gone through the chemotherapy treatment, their scalp can be really dry. It can actually be quite sensitive and scaly. And I know there's lots of kind of different proteins, wheat proteins, sunflower seed oils and things that we can recommend them to actually look for in a product. But would you actually look after patients yourself as well, Elizabeth?
Certainly. It's great to see someone who's about to start their chemo treatment, to advise them on what's going to happen, why it's happening, and give them an understanding of what the treatment does and why it does it. And then after treatment, it's when the hair comes back, it can be very different to what someone was used to in texture, colour. The rate of growth may be different. It can come back quite quickly for some, and for others it can be quite slow. Again, a lot of that is looking at nutrition and how to build the body immune system back up. So if there'd been any nutrition deficiencies while you've been ill, because let's face it, when you're having chemo, you're not got the best appetite and you're probably not eating as well as you could. So it's looking at things that you can add to your diet that will really add benefit to your hair.
And what kind of diet would you actually recommend somebody who is maybe going through chemotherapy, just finished their course of chemo, and they are got that really dry, flaky, sensitive scalp?
So for most things, obviously you're always told to have a varied and well-balanced diet. And for hair, because hair is made of protein, a high protein diet is very beneficial. And you've got to look at your iron levels as well. Because if your ferritin is the significant piece of the iron that you're looking at, so you may have an iron level that the doctor says is okay, but when you break it down and look at the actual ferritin level, that sometimes can be a lot lower than it need be for good hair. So again, looking at green dark vegetables, red meats, if you're vegetarian, pulses and things like that will give you the added iron that you need. And again, if you can do it through your nutrition, supplements are great, but if you can do it through nutrition, it's a much truer nutrient.
It's fascinating, isn't it, really?
It is, and I think that goes for a lot of things. My personal, I take multivitamins, but my personal logic is always try and get everything you can from food.
Yeah.
Because then you've pulled it in
from
naturally.
that natural source.
Absolutely, and that's fascinating. I didn't know, and somebody's actually commented. The echo's gone, by the way. I've managed to sort that out.
Yes.
But a
you.
comment that we've had come through is that somebody didn't know that protein was good for your hair. I didn't know that, but now I understand why mine is growing so fast from all the shakes and things.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Yeah, well, protein is actually really, really good.
Hair is made of keratin.
Is a keratin, isn't it? And your nails are made from keratin, so you need that actual protein.
Yeah. And also any dietary deficiencies, your hair is the first thing that the body will kind of stop feeding, because the body doesn't see it as an essential part of our being. We can all live quite happily physically without our hair. Emotionally and psychologically is a completely different thing. But from the body's point of view, if you're lacking in nutrients, the last thing it's going to feed is your hair. It's going to feed all your essential organs first, and your support systems, your immune system, your nervous system. So again, if you've been on a crash diet or you've not been eating particularly well, you may see in months following that period that your hair will suffer.
So it's not always an immediate kind of thing that you can see right away. Then it's something that perhaps for a while afterwards, then you might see the effects of how you've been living, say, if you've not been giving your body everything.
And it's the same if you're taking a supplement. So Mediceuticals do a fantastic supplement for hair and skin and nails. It's got all the main ingredients in it that you need, including zinc, selenium, and a vitamin B complex. So that's a great way to support your diet if you're not getting what you need. Um,
and how many of those? There's 60 capsules in there. So is that a month's supply?
It would be a month's supply. Yeah. So you would take, get it around the right way. You would take 2 of those a day, one in the morning and one in the evening, preferably with food because it does have biotin in it, and some people can be slightly intolerant to biotin. So if you don't have it with food, it can make your tummy feel a bit iffy. I've never had a client complain about that, but it is one thing that you need to consider. So I would always say take it with food, morning or night. And if you forget, take 2 at night.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's
what
quite interesting, isn't it?
Do we do, Elizabeth? Because obviously there's the diet side of things, but there's more like topical stuff, isn't there? Things you can do on the outside to create an environment, I guess, that promotes healthy hair.
There's obviously products that you can buy that can help with hair loss or a scalp complaint. Again, Mediceuticals do a fantastic range that are all naturally based and have some really good natural DHT inhibitors in for hair loss, which is the main cause for male and female pattern baldness, as well as supporting cleansing the scalp and supporting the environmental exterior of the scalp to help with the hair growth. I'm sorry, Jane, I can't hear you.
I was saying a lot of damage can actually happen because of the environmental influences around us, such as pollution and the sunlight as well. So that can actually cause damage, isn't it, to the hair?
Absolutely. And, environmental damage can be caused by the environment, as you say, with the free radicals that are in the air and things like that. But also what we do to our hair, not cleansing it properly, not brushing it properly, using too much heat on it, colouring it, styling it. There's lots of things that we can do. But there's also lots of things that you can do to kind of counteract. I always say for every bad thing you do, you need to do 2 good things to repair it. So if you are sort of styling your hair quite excessively with a lot of heat and colouring it with a lot of chemicals, then try and support it from the inside as well by looking at nutrition, so that the hair that's growing is growing in the best optimum condition it can before we do bad things to it to make it look the way we want it to look.
So there's like a sort of a full all-round program that comes with seeing you as a trichologist then, in terms of you help people map out what they should be doing with like a program of treatments and
Absolutely.
diet and all those kind of things. Oh, it's really good. It's quite exciting.
And also, yeah. I think we should all go.
I think so. I would love to.
Well, I've scoped all of the stylists in London, and they're all horrified to look at their scalps. So,
horrified up there.
So I bet they were horrified.
Yeah.
That's great.
When you see it close up.
I can imagine. It's definitely something that when I first saw the camera being used and you showed me an example, I didn't want to see my scalp. Immediately I thought, oh gosh, it was as if someone's discovered something about you.
Yeah, I had mine done once. I was in Italy visiting a company, and we all done one another's, and it was hysterical, really. Yeah. But fascinating,
but I'm sure it can make you feel a bit like, oh gosh, I need to go home and wash my hair quite excessively.
It makes you think actually you should wash it every day and not actually leave it for a week, maybe.
Finding the balance, isn't it? As I'm sure Elizabeth.
But also putting clients under the scope that are suffering hair loss, it can be quite reassuring to show them that actually the follicle is still active, even though it's not producing a hair. We can still see that it's there and it's open, so potentially it can regrow hair, and
that must give a lot of hope to people.
There.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, so Elizabeth, we'll sort of touch more on treatment programs and things like that you offer, I think we'll have to come and see you. We're going to have to come up there and see what you're doing.
Have a treatment.
I didn't want to say that, but yes, I'll have to come up and have a treatment.
He just wants to be the guinea pig again, doesn't he?
Oh, I love it. Clearly, that's what I do.
It will be filmed.
Yeah. Won't be the first time, AJ.
No, it won't be the first time. Yeah, it won't be the last either.
The treatment is therapeutic as well, because it's very much sort of stimulating the scalp with massage and heat, and so actually they're quite. It is like a spa treatment for the scalp. So it's not horrific. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's actually quite a relaxing treatment.
Quite a treat to come along and have it done then, isn't it? Yeah. How long would somebody be with you for their first appointment to have a treatment?
So a first consultation is about an hour. Sometimes we overrun a little bit, but usually it's an hour. And then treatment-wise, it really depends on what we're going to do. So if we're going to do one of our spa treatments, which is all about cleansing the scalp and stimulating the scalp, that again is about an hour. And as a former hairdresser, you get me to finish it off and give you a nice decent blow dry as well at the end. So we don't send you out with soaking wet hair, or we do sort it out for you so you can face the world looking good and feeling good. And then the other treatment that we do is the low level light treatment, which is where you sit under a low level light, which looks a bit like a hood dryer. And what that does is that helps to rejuvenate the cells in the follicle and get the hair growing again. And that's really effective. And the biggest bonus with that is there's no side effects to it. So anybody can have that as a treatment. So as you were talking about chemo patients, sort of 6 months to a year after their treatment is finished, then low level light treatment is a really good treatment for them to have. And for hair loss, it also helps reduce inflammation, and quite often it's the inflammation in the follicle that could be causing the hair loss. So again, that reduces that. So that's a great treatment. And again, it's half an hour. You sit under that. You have to wear dark glasses to protect your eyes, so you can't even see your phone. So it's a real half an hour of chilling for someone that just got to sit and wait for half an hour, which most of us.
I'm sold.
Yeah, I was going to say, for those people who've got like really busy, active lives, just to take half an hour out of their week and sit with dark glasses on, heaven.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Elizabeth,
really nice.
we're going to definitely come up and you can demonstrate everything in the book that you want to on both of us.
Yeah.
And we'll happily sit there in dark glasses, drink in hand, and just chill. But we're going to just quickly go back to talking about the nutrition. So because I have to mute us when you're speaking to stop the echo, I was wondering if you could talk me through how to make this smoothie, and I will just silently make it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome.
Shall I make it with you? Right. So this is what I call my hair boosting or DHT inhibiting smoothie, and it's got some great ingredients to help hair growth. So we need to start with a smoothie maker. Then for the base, we're using almond milk, and the almond milk is full of natural DHT inhibitors, so that helps to stop the miniaturization of the follicle. So we use that rather than cow's milk, but cow's milk is just as good because dairy products are full of protein and calcium, so that's a good thing. So I would say maybe a cupful of almond milk. Pour it gently, maybe 2. Doesn't look enough, 1. Okay. So next we've got some blueberries. So I would say 2 handfuls of blueberries. And the blueberries are to help fight the free radicals that damage the follicle. And they're also little powerhouses of biotin, and biotin again is very good for the hair. And obviously, if you're taking it in a natural form, it's not going to upset your tummy. Next is the spinach. So a big handful of that goes in. And then your raw pumpkin seeds. And these are full of, again, natural DHT inhibitors. So probably a palmful of those go in. Now I see you've got an apple there, and I've forgotten to chop up my apple. So putting an apple in there helps the vitamin C. Vitamin C aids the absorption of the iron. So the iron's coming from the spinach as well. So that helps the body to absorb the iron. So I think that's all our bits. You're going to put your apple in. I think that's the wrong bit to. Yeah, I've got the wrong lid. I haven't got the whizzy lid. I've got the other lid. So I can't whiz it. So I have to let you whiz yours. I thought I was so prepared, and I haven't got the whizzy bit. So that's it. Shove it on there. Whiz it up. Actually, while you're doing that, I'll see if I can find my whizzy bit. The box I had in the cupboard. Let me see where it is. No, I think I've lost my whizzy bit. I don't know where that's gone.
Well, we're fully whizzed, and
give it a taste.
It smells very nice.
Does it smell nice?
It smells very nice. It smells very like gardeny.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
In the best way.
Yeah, it smells like cut grass. It smells like freshly cut grass.
So we've either done it very wrong or very right, Elizabeth. Which one is it?
That's the spinach, so that we smell it. So the more apple you put in, the sweeter it becomes. And also you can put it with ice as well, which makes it that much cooler to drink.
Try and do equal amounts there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Time to taste.
Time to taste. Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much for this. We're going to bottoms up these now, I think.
Yeah, we need to taste it. Cheers.
Cheers. It's good. I was expecting it to taste really strong, and it doesn't.
No, it's really nice. You can taste. You can got the little crunch of the apple in there.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually feel that, can't you?
It's a bit like the banana.
A bit like the banana. Yeah.
Like the banana.
Bradley's got a tip of the month about bananas for everybody.
Yeah.
Who makes their smoothies.
So everybody's going to wince, but if you cut the top and the bottom off of a banana and just chuck it in the smoothie maker with the skin on, it's much more nutritious, and you get a crunch in your smoothie.
It's a bit more fibrous, and you get that crunch. It's meant to be good for you.
This is good, Elizabeth.
That's really nice.
So what would be the it's bad everywhere. What would be the kind of results that you would expect? What does this smoothie kind of, is it DHT blocking?
This is giving you some of the essential nutrients that you need on a daily basis. So it's a great way of getting that into you without kind of thinking too much about what you need to add to your daily requirements. Especially if you're someone who kind of skips breakfast, this to have in the morning would be ideal, because it's giving you a great boost of nutrients that will see you through till lunchtime, but they're all like the essentials that you need for good hair as well. So it's kind of,
and actually it's so quick to make as well.
So quick
that you could do that for your breakfast easily, couldn't you? Really nice.
Well, I actually do, Jane. Every morning. I do. Not quite to this extent because I don't really know what I'm doing, but now I understand that this one has a purpose and everything, and it's very good. So
it's lovely,
and it blends really nicely together.
Yeah. So
there we go, our first little cookery segment we've had. But
yeah, really enjoyed that.
We have a question for you, Elizabeth, which is it better to wash your hair every day or twice a week? It's the question that's come in for you.
Well, it really depends on what type of hair you have, or not so much your hair type, it's just what the scalp's doing. So if you have an incredibly greasy scalp, then washing it more often is more beneficial. Because what you don't want is, if you're not cleansing it, it can give a build up on the scalp. If you've got very dry hair, again, or a very dry scalp, washing it too often can exacerbate that, because obviously some of the shampoos have quite strong detergents in them. So you need to look at the ingredients in the shampoo. So something like Mediceuticals, where there's no sodium lauretates and DSSs and all the other sort of additives that are in a lot of shampoos, are much kinder. So if you needed to wash your hair every day because it is very greasy, then those are the sort of shampoos that you need to be looking at.
That's good to know.
That's really good advice, actually. And we're going to have a few more minutes talking with you, Elizabeth. But Bradley's just, so we don't appear to be rude, Bradley's just going to disappear off the screen now.
Yeah, on the subject of washing hair, I'm going to go and wash mine so we can actually have a go with the hair spa. Which I think, Jane, it would be quite good for you guys to talk about the benefits of the light, because Elizabeth definitely mentioned the light treatment earlier. But I'm gonna butt out now, and I'm gonna wheel this bad boy off.
Remember to unplug it.
I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay, so Bradley's just going to disappear for a moment, and he's just going to wash his hair so we can actually demonstrate with the hair spa when he actually comes back. But with the hair spas, Elizabeth, and you're probably very familiar with them now, working in the Aderans Hair Centre, they've also got an LED light on it. So with that LED light, that's going to actually help with the hair growth slightly.
Yeah, it is. As I was explaining to you about the laser that I have, or the low-level light therapy that I do, it's a much bigger version of that. And the way I like to describe it is if you could imagine a bridge, and there's a troop of soldiers walking in unison over the bridge. The bridge is quite heavy, and it's all quite, the impact of those is quite uniformed. So you're getting a really kind of big punch from them walking across it. But if you had the same amount of people walking across that were just milling around and not kind of doing it in unison, you're still getting that movement over the bridge, but it's not as intense. So it's still a great use of the product, of the low-level light, that you can do at home. You haven't got to come into the clinic to have the sort of the big boy, but to maintain it at home is great. And the added advantage with the hair spa is that it has the massaging hands or fingers on it. So stimulation of the scalp is another big thing to encourage hair growth, because what that does is it helps to stimulate the scalp with a better blood supply, bringing more oxygen and better nutrients, so that the follicle can really feast on this extra nutrients and extra oxygen that's being brought to it. So it's like having a plant. If you put a plant in a cupboard and it doesn't get any sunlight or water, it's going to wizzle and die. Whereas if you put it in the garden, it's getting sunshine and water, it's going to blossom. And that's kind of how my analogy for a hair follicle is. If you think it's the root of the follicle is the seed of the hair, and with all the right ingredients, it will grow.
It's all right. Bradley's left me with the controls, hasn't he? And when I need to speak, I need to unmute it, and then when I want you to speak, I've got to unmute, so we don't have any of the interference that we were having in the beginning. And I'm not the best person to be left with the controls, really. It's a really interesting thing, though, because you can do your light therapy treatment in-house, so you're having a proper treatment done. But I understand you could also buy the actual like caps and different things to use it?
Yeah, so again, they're obviously not the superpower that my in-house one has. So, but what it does do is if you can use them in combination, if you can get to the salon and then buy a band that you can use at home, you're just energizing the follicles so much more. You know that you're not giving them one day of sunlight; you're giving them a whole week of sunlight, which is only going to help. And again, that the bands deliver slightly more of the wavelength than the hair spa does, but the hair spa comes into its own because it has this massaging effect as well.
Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful to use, in all fairness. Bradley's been using the hair spa now because we introduced it just before Christmas, and Bradley's been using it regularly since then, haven't you? He loves being a guinea pig for everything, really.
Bit spa related, yeah.
Yeah, anything spa related, yeah. So he's been our guinea pig, but you've really noticed a difference with your hair, haven't you?
It's just given more volume to the hair. It kind of the scalp area, not outwards, just at the top.
Giving you more kind of lift.
More lift.
And I think it's just he's getting those new little baby hairs growing. They're getting stronger as well, isn't it? But you've been using it for what, 6 months now?
Yeah,
really?
And I can only liken it to when you first get an electric toothbrush, and then you can't go back because your teeth don't feel clean unless you use an electric toothbrush.
Yeah,
it's like the difference in cleansing my scalp, my hair, just feels so much cleaner when I use it. But I've just actually given the Mediceuticals shampoo.
Oh, did you?
I did.
It's lovely. They smell beautiful, don't they? It
smells so good.
Yeah.
You can't smell it, obviously, guys, but I can, and I'm very much enjoying it.
Yeah, because our Medeceutical products, they all come in boxes. You can buy them separately as well. So you could buy a kit to begin with, and as you run out of one, you can actually replenish it as well. They are absolutely amazing products to use, along with the actual skincare products, the Biomed ones, which they use different skincare products, soaps in oils, which are all really lovely. But I'm glad you use that, Brad, because they do smell absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
Really good to use. So if you're looking for a new product, or you just think you've got that hair loss issue, you're not sure where to go, how to actually solve it, and you want some answers, ring our branch in London on 0207 221 2646, or if you're in the Westbourne Grove area, pop in and actually say hi to the Elizabeth or the guys in the salon and make an appointment to go in and see them.
Yeah.
And if you go this month, again, as Bradley said earlier, you're going to get that consultation for £50 instead of £85.
Yeah.
So it's really nice saving, I think, to actually have if you wanted to try it out and see what it's all about, really. Somebody's just asked us if the Medeceutical products are all vegan. Would you know that, Elizabeth? I think that.
Yes, they are. Yeah. And I think the other beauty with Medeceutical products is that they're not hideously expensive. You're getting some real beneficial products at really reasonable prices.
And I think the good thing is when you buy a really nice product, you don't need to use so much of it, do you?
No.
I think a lot of people, when they're shampooing and conditioning, they just pour it out in their hand and do this and slap it on, and you waste that product. All you need is like a size of a 5p piece or just a bit bigger, and that's all you need with your product. So, you know, anybody watching, don't use too much of your product because you are just wasting it otherwise.
Well, Elizabeth, it's been lovely having you on, as always.
Pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. And we're going to come up and see you. We'll get a date in, and we're going to come up and we're going to try everything on the menu.
Yeah.
And it'd be lovely to actually finally meet you, because we've done 2 of these now, and I still haven't.
Listen, yeah.
Well, and also we have to do another one from my kitchen, because I've got a whole bunch of recipes that are for hair smoothies. So they're not for you to eat, but they're for you to put on your hair. The things that you can do, you know, on a Sunday night when you think, my hair's not feeling great, let's do something. How can I make it feel better for tomorrow? go to your store cupboard and I'll show you what you can use to improve things.
Fabulous. That's what we will do, because yeah, I've got a list of some of your different recommendations here for your home spa treatments. Yeah. And they are all things that you keep in your cupboards, really. So I think it would be a great one to actually have you back on into that. And maybe we could actually say to everybody beforehand, we can put out onto Facebook what ingredients they need, and they can all make it at home with us at the same time. So we can have an interactive one.
Let's do that. That sounds fantastic.
Which I think would be absolutely great fun. We'll put a couple of recipes out there and organise a day.
Definitely. Well,
really good.
As I said, Elizabeth, thank you so much.
Thank
it's
you.
been great. I look like a drowned rat, so let's get me sorted out. And we will see you soon.
Take care. Take care. Bye.
Right, come on then, Jane. What are we doing with this hair spa?
Right, so for those of you who's not seen the hair spa before, I can't switch it on now. We introduced the hair spa back at the end of last year. And it's got, thank you, Bradley, it's got 4 little nodules, as you can see. They all twist around. And they're like 4 rotating rubber heads. They don't hurt at all. And when they're actually rotated, you actually get 2,800 touches per minute. So if I was doing this with just my normal fingers, you just get a very gentle massage. But by using the hair spa, it's quite painless, isn't it? Well, it is very painless. It's not painful.
It's not painful at all, actually.
It's just, is it quite tickly?
It feels nice, but it does. The weirdest thing is that it feels like fingers, like lots of fingers.
It does, yeah. And if you imagine you've got that 2,800 little rotations.
Come into the middle a little bit.
Stimulating the actual scalp. And it's actually stimulating 70 different pressure points on the scalp as well. So it's really doing an awful lot of work for you. You just need to move it gently around the scalp. Don't leave it in one place too long. And by doing this, we're actually stimulating the actual follicle, stimulating the actual hair growth, and bringing all that blood to the actual surface as well. It's also got 2 speeds. And I'll just put my glasses on so I can see. So we can speed it up slightly as well. And these you can take in the bath with you as well, because they're all waterproof. So if you wanted to actually do this whilst you were led in a bath of bubbles, you can actually do that as well. And it just works really, really nicely. It's also got an LED light on it, which, as Elizabeth was actually explaining, and there you can see it's lit up now.
So it's actually red, isn't it? It's red light.
Red light, yeah. And
looks
again,
white through the webcam.
That's going to actually help to actually stimulate all of that hair growth. And what this is doing really, and if you've got your own bio hair, or maybe you've lost all your hair and you've got alopecia, universalis, totalis, you can still use this. So it's going to be a lovely spa treatment for your actual scalp. And it just really helps to actually clean that scalp area. So when we were talking about the follicle earlier, it actually grows up from the actual scalp and it's like a little ball. The thing is, if your scalp's not clean, or the grease or the dirt centers into that little dip where the follicle is, and it kind of creates almost like a cement around the follicle, and that will actually inhibit the actual hair growth that you've got. So keeping your scalp as clean as possible and keeping it healthy is going to actually really help as well. We've actually, we've tried this and tested it, and a lot of people have found that after using it for 3 months, their hair loss might have actually stabilised slightly, but they actually find their hair growth is actually stronger. So that hair that is actually growing grows through much stronger. And as Bradley said, he feels he's got more volume to his hair now than he had before he actually started using this back in December.
So I can see a question that's come up, and it is one that I remember asking you when I first used this. Does it tangle the hair? And I can tell you it doesn't. So long as you use it on wet hair, as you're supposed to, you won't have any issues, unless your hair is already tangled, in which case anything that goes in your hair will probably get stuck.
Yeah, so make sure it's all detangled before you start to use it.
And in terms of how long to use it for, Jane, I use it for about 3 minutes, 3 to 5.
Yeah, they reckon about 4 minutes on average to actually use it. And if you're using it for 4 minutes, every day, you're going to actually start to actually see some results from it.
And I tell you which part of the head it feels best on. It's just
this bit.
Oh, yeah.
So you want me to go down there then, Bradley?
Yeah, so if you just stay there for the rest of the night, Jane, if you just want to do that, that's
fine. It could be quite a long segment this evening. If Bradley doesn't want to actually move.
No.
Bradley's scalp is going quite pink, but that's good because that's just all the blood being brought to the surface, which is just really a good thing because it's increasing that blood flow to the actual hair follicles. It's also relaxing the scalp and actually relaxing all of Bradley's neck muscles as well. So it is a really great tool to use. So whilst it's doing its work, it's actually releasing all those toxins that we've actually got in our body. So it's giving the actual hair a really nice, clean, healthy environment for it to actually live in. If you've not already bought one of these, I'd say get one any day of the week. They're absolutely brilliant to use. And I know some people have actually bought them and have actually used them for on their arms and actually on their thighs as well to actually aid, to get rid of the cellulite that they've got. And they work really well for that as well. It's meant to be for your scalp and your hair, but people do use them for all different reasons.
That feels nice there as well.
Is that nice there?
Yeah, I think there's certain pressure points on your head where it feels very nice.
Yeah. Well, I'd imagine because we've got 70 pressure points. Some people are going to be more sensitive in some areas than others, really. And so this is what's happening.
This is called the hair spa. We've just had a question. What is it called?
Yeah, this is called the hair spa. And for somebody, there's a competition on at the moment where we're going to be giving one of these away for free. And all you need to do is follow us on Instagram at Aderans Hair Centre UK. So that's Aderans Hair Centre UK, Instagram at Aderans Hair Centre UK. And we will be actually picking out a winner, and they will actually have one of the hair spas landing at their front door for them, which would be lovely to actually use. They're really comfortable. As we said, they're waterproof. You can actually charge them by just using a normal plug. You can charge them in your USB points as well around the house. So it's just very, very easy and very comfortable. It just kind of sits in the palm of your hand, and it's not at all heavy either.
Right, well, Jane,
you're liking this,
I'm loving
this. Too much, I think.
But I think we should wrap this up and just let everybody know that if they can't wait to see if they've won, they can get the hair spa on our website until the end of the month with 10% less with the code Healthy Hair. So anyone watching tonight that's enjoyed this webinar and would like to get hold of one of these hair spas, just head over to trendco.co.uk, find the hair spa, add it to your basket, and then punch in the code Healthy Hair.
Yep.
And one will come to you. But I can honestly sit here and say that was probably the best part of my day today. No offence to anybody involved in tonight's webinar, but that was,
very relaxing.
It's the best part of every day.
Now we've got to go and wash the shampoo out and blow dry him.
Oh.
Even
well, it
better.
just gets better, guys. It just gets better. Well, on that note, I think...
And it calls this work.
We'll, you know... Some of us just have it so easy. But on that note, I think we'll say goodnight. It's been great, though.
But really before we go, next week we're not here.
We're not, no.
Because it's the summer, and we realise so many of you are so busy. Hopefully you're all going to be organising holidays and going away quite soon. Now things are beginning to open up. So we've decided, just for the time being, for the summer, just to drop these down to once a fortnight. When we're not on live, we are actually putting something else on in the place.
Yeah, we can't just leave you hanging.
So there'll be a video or something interesting actually put on for you, which would be great. So we're not actually here live next week, but we're back on the following week, which is the
26th,
27th, I think.
Something around that point.
Yeah, Wednesday the 27th or 28th. Yeah. And we're back with a really exciting new range of some wigs. And they're all high heat fibre. So high heat fibre that you're allowed to style as if it's your own human hair. So beautiful wigs that we're going to be coming back with them. I hope you enjoyed the evening. Get in touch with our salons at Aderans Hair Centre if you want to actually go in and see one of our trichologists and actually have an appointment, have a little experiment with the Scalp and see what's going on with your scalp and how we can help you, and take full advantage of actually trying to win the hair spa or ordering one online and get your discount.
Absolutely. So yeah,
Fantastic.
Don't forget to check out the hair spa. We're going to leave you with a video tonight to just give you a little bit more information about this, and then the voucher code, if you've forgotten, is at the very end of the video. If you've liked what you've seen tonight in terms of you want to know more about the smoothie recipe, check out our blog that will be out on Saturday on trendco.co.uk, where we'll also be hearing more from Elizabeth too.
Yeah, brilliant. She'll be back with some more recipes, which would be great fun.
It'd be great fun.
Yeah.
Right, well,
okay,
let's go wash me off.
Let's go and wash you.
Hello, today I'd like to actually introduce to you a really exciting hair tool. It's one of those products that we've actually been waiting for most of 2020. It's called the Aderans Hair Spa. It's an electrical massager and it's going to actually help release the toxins from the scalp, thus giving a really healthy environment for that hair to grow. The Aderans Hair Spa actually contains LED lights plus your 4 rotating rubber heads. Each massaging head actually simulates the action of fingertips, and by rotating we're actually replicating 2,800 movements per minute. This will stimulate 70 pressure points on the scalp. It does all the work for you. The Aderans Hair Spa will actually increase the blood flow to the hair follicle by relaxing the scalp and all those neck muscles. By using the hair spa every day for 4 minutes, or whenever you shampoo and condition, you will actually be stimulating that hair growth, making it stronger. So over a period of 6 months, you will see stronger hair growth coming through. The Aderans Hair Spa is a great little piece of equipment. It's really easy to use, comfortable to hold, just sits in the palm of my hand. Great, I think, for everybody to have in their salon or to actually use at home. It's waterproof, you can charge it quite easily by plug or by USB. We think it's one of those really great products and a must-have product for everybody.